You guys, what in the name of pageantry is going on with the Miss USA organization? Stick around because I'm going to be sharing all my thoughts on this latest development, so you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Hey pageant fans, welcome back to T Stance on Pageantry, where we talk all things pageant related. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the recent resignations of Miss USA and Miss Teen USA. So as you guys have undoubtedly heard, both Noelia and Uma Sophia have resigned from their positions. And honestly, it's been causing quite the stir. And of course it would, because hello, this is like precedent setting. This is like history in the making. Never before have we ever had a Miss USA and a Miss Teen USA step down from their roles. And we're all part of this pageant industry, so I'm sure we all understand how big a deal that is. I mean, for them to reach the pinnacle of their pageant careers and then step down, y'all know it has to be bad. It has to be bad. People don't just step down from their titles for small and insignificant things. There has to be a lot going on behind the scenes that we do not know about. So let's just dive right in. I want to talk a little bit about Noelia. First off, I want to commend her and say, kudos to you for coming out and sharing your experience, or as much as you can share, and talking about your mental health. I think that was really brave and very vulnerable of her, and I think it's super important for us to be aware of our mental health. And also, as part of the pageant industry, we really need to be careful about how we speak to and interact with our contestants and with the title holders themselves, because at the end of the day, they're all human beings. We're all human beings. We all have feelings. We're not robots. We have feelings, and our title holders, they're under a lot of pressure. Contestants are under a lot of pressure. So I think it's really important that when we interact, whether we're giving advice, whether we're giving criticism, that we do so from a place of like a good spirit, have a good heart about it, not to be mean or mean-spirited about it, because it can really have a detrimental impact on the well-being of our title holders and contestants. And I mean, have we learned nothing from Chesley Chris? Behind that gorgeous smile, nobody knew that she was really suffering with mental health issues. So it's really important, because a lot of times we don't know these contestants or these title holders like that. We don't know them. We only see them on social media, and of course we grow an attachment to them, but we don't really know these people. We don't know what demons they're fighting. So I think this is really a time, her Noelia coming out and talking about her mental health. I think it's really an opportunity for us as a pageant industry, and specifically organizers and national directors in this case, to take a step back and really reevaluate the way that they speak to and about their title holders and their contestants, because it's really important. So as you guys know, we have a new Miss USA, and it is Miss Hawaii, Savannah. I don't know how to say her last name, so I'm not even gonna try to mess that up. But yeah, she's the new Miss USA, and she's been getting a lot of backlash really because of her deciding to take on this role. I think a lot of people had hoped that she would have stood by Noelia or taken a stance that was not to join the organization, not to take on the title of Miss USA. And I agree. Now, I will be the first to tell you that when I watched Miss USA, I was actually rooting for Miss Hawaii to win. And so I'm happy in the sense that she is now Miss USA. I'm happy that her dream came true, but I wish that it wasn't under these circumstances, And I think that I would have probably cautioned her not to take this because of exactly what's happening right now, which is all the backlash that she is receiving from the community. Now, I'm one of those people who feels yeah, we definitely need to hold the organization accountable for whatever is going on in that organization. And I just don't think that taking on the Miss USA role at this time would be wise, But that's not to say that I agree with her being bullied or being, attacked online. And so since Savannah has been getting a lot of personal attacks on social media, her mom has come to her defense. And I totally, completely understand this as a parent myself. You want to defend your child. But getting involved in this, I just think it was not a great idea. And when I read her comment, I get that she was trying to defend her daughter, but Ugh, what she had to say, I feel like really didn't help the situation. So I'm gonna read it right now because I think it's really important to unpack it. So she says, to everyone that is bashing our daughter, I want you all to know and understand this decision was not made easily. I have raised a warrior, and your hateful comments she can endure. For those who claim they are supporting women, apparently you should take that back because you have no clue how to support women. We heard directly from a former employee, a parent, and Noelia herself of what they went through. What they went through was nothing as detrimental as what media portrays it to be. Yes, unfortunately, they may have had to ride Spirit Airlines. Yes. They may have had their boss tell them that some of their posts were not of brand. Yes, they may have not had a makeup artist add an appearance for them. They may have been reprimanded for some of their outfit choices. Yes, they may have not gotten their full prize package. But if that was the worst, then I'm sorry, but maybe they have forgotten what their primary role was, and that was to be a role model for women. We have military women today at the front lines in battle. We have women as police officers and firefighters out there protecting us. The role of Miss USA is nowhere near life threatening as what these other women go through. Miss USA role is not about glitz and glamour. It's the ability to use this platform and speak for women. My daughter has not forgotten that goal. While many of you are harassing and belittling her, you are the problem. Must not forget there is a class of 2024 contestants waiting to fulfill their dreams of becoming the next Miss USA. Are you agreeing to take away that from them? Are you part of the problem that wants to silence them? A lot of you are hypocritical by what you're writing and your belief. So shame on all of you who speak ill about her decision. If you are a true supporter of women, you will support women and the hard decisions they make. Okay, I gotta talk about this for a minute. I get wanting to defend your daughter. I really, really do. But when you list the alleged issues, let's say alleged issues because Noelia hasn't come out specifically to say that these were the specific issues she had. Like I know she mentioned like toxic work environment and bullying and harassment, but these specific details of like Spirit of having to ride Spirit Airlines and her post not being a brand and her parents, I haven't seen too much about it. I just want to say that when you list things like this in the way that she did here, it serves only to trivialize the issues and to make them seem small and insignificant. And that's really unfortunate because, again, because of the NDA, Noelia hasn't really come out and given us too many examples of exactly what's going on. She's not been able to freely speak about it. And I just feel like it's unfair to boil it down to these points and say like these are the reasons why she's stepped down, and these are like basically what you're saying to me. How this is coming across is like these are no big deal, like you're making a mountain out of a molehill. And so what if you didn't get your prize package? Well, I mean, if you competed in a pageant or any sort of competition and you were promised a certain prize package, then it should be delivered to you. Why should Noelia, as a Miss USA, receive less than what she was promised and receive less than what previous title holders before her got? You know, like this is what people in America sue for all the time. Do they not? Like if they're promised something and somebody does not fulfill their end of the bargain, like don't you sue for this? Like this is a common practice in the States. So I don't understand her saying like, the prize package, big deal, whatever. Like, so what, you didn't get it? That's not the purpose of this, of being a title holder. No, it's not the purpose of being a title holder, but it's also the principle. It's the principle that matters here, and I think that that is what she's losing sight of. I think that if her daughter had won Miss USA outright and had not received her prize package, she would be singing a different tune. She would absolutely be singing a different tune. So why is it any different for Noelia? Why? And Noelia's mom and Uma Sophia's mom, they did interviews and they talked about how this is not about the prize package. It goes beyond that. Another thing I want to say about this is that when you have someone like your mom or someone close to you making these kind of comments online, it can really do you a disservice because it can almost seem like your mom, especially your mom, because most people are close to their mom, your mom speaks on your behalf. And so if your mom is saying these things, then you must also believe these things. So that is not really a good look for Savannah, just because most of the pageant community, from what I have seen, is in support of Noelia and actually wanted the class of 2023 to stand by her and not take on the role of Miss USA. And then the other thing that I want to point out that makes this even worse is the fact that a spokesperson for Noelia came out and said, as Noelia's spokesperson, I want to state explicitly and without ambiguity that Noelia has never engaged in any communication with Hawaii's mother at any time. In light of Hawaii's mother's social media post, which has now been deleted, we find it necessary to set the record straight. We are uncertain as to why she would perpetuate this falsehood, but it's categorically incorrect. While we absolutely disapprove of any form of bullying, we also frown upon dishonesty. Woo! Shots fired! Listen, it is getting real out in these streets, okay? Because what you mean she's never spoken to Hawaii's mom? So what was Hawaii's mom trying? What was she saying then? I don't know. Like, you see how you get yourself in problems? I mean, who's telling the truth here? Hawaii's mom says she spoke to Noelia. And Noelia's spokesperson is saying, Ashley, we've never had a conversation. And we frown upon dishonesty. Whew. Ain't looking too good. I'm hoping, as many other people are hoping, that Noelia will eventually be released from her NDA. But I don't think that is likely because it don't seem like the Miss USA organization really even cares about these allegations. Their response has been lackluster at best. We've heard nothing from Miss Universe. So it's just like, how are we to proceed? How are we to get justice for Noelia? How are we to make sure that the organization doesn't do this to another young woman? I mean, there's a class of 2024 coming into Miss USA, and are they going to be subjected to this same kind of treatment? Probably, because it doesn't seem like the organization truly, even cares about the way that they've made Noelia feel. Not even an apology, not even, I'm sorry that we made you feel this way. Nothing. It's just like, on to the next one. Toodles. It's just really unfair, I think. And it's really unfortunate. And it's causing a lot of reputational damage to the Miss USA organization. And I don't understand why they can't see that and why they aren't willing to do anything about it. Now, I do want to read a comment that was also left under that same post. And it says, I followed and supported both Noelia and Savannah as I think they are amazing women. However, I struggle with this decision. Far too often, many workplace environments would rather proceed or replace individuals without doing the work to address the issues that cause excellent people to leave. I do not want it to be brushed under the rug and more concerning behavior to emerge. I was hoping that the organization would take the time to learn, reflect, make changes without having anyone step into the role until the next competition. We can only hope they will still take action for the betterment and health of the ladies and have accountability measures put in place. That's all. Ditto. Like, I wholeheartedly agree. This person summed it up excellently. Like, that's all we want. That is all we want is accountability, for you to acknowledge that your actions may not have served your purpose, like something than this lackluster response. I mean, does it not concern them that Noelia is saying that, the Miss USA organization cultivated a toxic work environment that led her decision to step down, and that, at best, it's poor management, and at worst, it's bullying and harassment. Is that the image you want out there about your organization? It must be, because you're not really addressing any of these concerns. In an article that was posted by People Magazine, here's what Layla Rose had to say in response to all of this. She said, "Our all-encompassing goal at Miss USA is to celebrate and empower women. Our participants make a real difference in this country and around the globe. All along, my personal goal as the head of this organization has been to inspire women to always create new dreams, have the courage to explore it all, and continue to preserve integrity along the way. I hold myself to these same high standards, and I take these allegations seriously. Please be assured that the well-being of all individuals associated with the Miss USA is my top priority." You guys, that statement really does not do it for me personally as a comms professional. So I saw this image that someone posted on their stories, and they said this is exactly what's wrong with the Miss USA organization. And it's the billboard with Layla Rose's face on it instead of Miss USA's face. And that's part of a larger issue. Is sometimes these national directors, when they get this role, it's like it's all about them. They love the limelight, they love the glitz and glam, and they want to be front and center. Look at me. But as a national director, you have to realize that it isn't about you. It is about the pageant. It's about the contestants, and it's about the title holder. And the title holder is your brand ambassador. She is the face of your organization. If anyone's face should be on a billboard, it's hers. If anyone should be getting special treatment, it's her. Please try to remember that this is not about you. This is really about the girls, the title holder. Do what's in the best interest of your pageant. That's what has to come first. Not what's in the best interest of yourself, but what's in the best interest of the pageant and the title holders. That should be the number one thing. Now I want to switch gears and talk about the Miss Teen USA side of things. I really enjoyed reading Uma Sophia's statement. I thought it was bold and it was direct. I think when people are making statements about controversy or scandal or anything like that, it's really important to not just listen to what they say, but also listen to what they don't say. And I got a kick out of the fact that she will always look back on her time as Miss New Jersey Teen USA fondly. And she does not say the same about her Miss Teen USA experience. In fact, she doesn't really say anything about that experience. And I think that speaks volumes for what she has gone through as a Miss Teen USA. And I just thought, yep, shots fired. Shots fired. And I'm just like, wow. I also really love that she directly came out and said that her personal values no longer align with the direction of the organization. I thought that was professional. I thought it was the best way to summarize why she was resigning, and I think it was smart. I can't believe that this is something we're seeing from a Miss Teen USA, and if what we've heard is to be believed, which is that her parents had to step in at some point, and that Layla was no longer able to communicate with her directly. She had to go through a mediary. I think that is absolutely ridiculous that her parents had to step in, that it was so bad. Her parents had to step in and take matters into their own hands and say, like, you're not allowed to have any kind of communication with our daughter. That is not good. That's not a good look. And it's interesting to note that the first runner-up to the Miss Teen USA title has decided not to take on the role as Miss Teen USA. And I think she made that statement about a week ago. So to date, there's been no announcement on who the new Miss Teen USA is going to be. And I'm curious to know if the class of 2023 is sticking together. Is that the reason why we don't have a Miss Teen USA as yet? Are they really banding together and supporting Uma Sophia through this and not taking on the role of Miss Teen USA? I don't know, but wouldn't that be interesting if it were the case, if that's what's happening? Comment down below if you guys know what is happening with that situation, because I'm really interested to see how it plays out. Will we have a new Miss Teen USA, or are they sticking together? And if they are, that's amazing. I find it also really interesting that since Noelia and Uma Sophia have stepped down, I feel like they've kind of been out and about more and seen more than when they were actually Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, which is interesting, is it not? And, you know, not that this is a good thing. I mean, I feel like over the years, pageantry in the US has kind of seen a decline, especially like Miss USA. Like, I feel like back when Donald Trump had the franchise or was the owner of the business, he because of his celebrity status, that was extended to Miss USA and even Miss Teen USA. And we don't, since he's, sold the business, we haven't really seen that kind of celebrity status with the Miss USAs or Miss Teen USAs. And so it's kind of nice to see that, people are starting to pay attention again and it's getting a lot of press attention. It's unfortunate that it's this kind of attention, but it's good that I think that pageantry is back in the spotlight, and I hope that, something good can come of this, that maybe somehow things can change and we can capitalize on that and use it to catapult the Miss USA organization. But it really all depends on where we go from here, but we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I want to hear from you down below. What do you guys think about this whole mess of a situation? Do you think we're going to see anything resolved? Like, do you think that the next title holder is going to have it better than Noelia did? I certainly hope so. I don't think that Savannah's reign, she only has a few months. I don't know that they're going to change anything between now and then, but it'll be interesting to hear what she has to say after her reign and how she found it to be. But until next time, I hope to hear from you. Have a great day.